Welcome to Smarter, Not Harder. What you're going to need for today's workout is a mat or a soft surface that you can get up and down off of, maybe a little extra padding for your knees if you need it. You can do this either with shoes on, or if you like to try barefoot training, you can go without shoes. And make sure you've got some water nearby for your breaks. So we're going to be doing a 40-20 clock today, 40 seconds of work, 20 seconds in between. There's going to be 2 levels of each exercise. Level 1, the easier version, I'll be doing the first round through, and then I will move to level 2 on the second round. So just get what you need and we'll get started with some mobility training. So let's go. You're with your posture, you got those toes pointed forward, feet about hips distance, shoulders contract right in the middle of those shoulder blades. Pull those shoulders back, palms open, fingertips reaching down, and let's just take that head side to side. Ear over toward the shoulder.
Let's keep our eyes on the prize, which is any other year but this, but we'll take 2021. I'm Christine Stowe. Let's do something live here from Bob Seeger and the Silver Bullet Band on rewind.
And now back to center, and then let's rotate the head side to side. Just keep rotating. All right, now bring those hands up by the chest. Pull them back, open that chest, bring them together, interlace, round the back, and reach forward. So reach back, chest open, and reach forward and round. Couple more times. One more time. All right, bring your hands down. Now some shoulder rolls up, down, and back. And reverse. Now bring those arms overhead. Make a fist with your thumb on top. Point that thumb up towards the ceiling, and we're going to make little small arm circles. Have that rotation coming from the shoulder joint. Now reverse. Good. Now let's take the arms, big circles up and around. You may hear some popping and cracking when you get started. All right, reverse. Like you're doing a backstroke. One more. All right, make a fist, bring those palms facing forward, elbows into the side, and now we're just going to rotate forward and around, keeping those elbows into the sides. You'll feel this in your upper back. Rotate. Good. Now, hands right on the front of the thighs, little soft knee, and we're going to high hinge. Just bring the torso forward, back stays nice and long, and then bring it back up again. You're going to feel this stretch in your hamstrings and in your glutes. Couple more times. And one more time. Good. Okay. Right leg. Get your balance. You may need a wall or a chair nearby to help, but we're going to swing that right leg forward, bring it back, curl that heel toward the hip. Couple more. And one more. All right, good job. Switch sides, same thing. Swing that left leg forward, kick that heel toward the hip. Big leg swings. Good. All right. Now, bring the feet about hips distance apart. Take your hands onto your knees. Bend those knees, hands right on top. And we are going to start on the outside edges of the feet and then roll around. Knees come to the inside. So roll across the toes, outside edges, across the heel, inside edge, and back. For the feet, the ankles, the knees, the hips. All right, let's reverse. Call this the Tootsie Roll. I didn't come up with that name, someone else came up with that name. All right, good. Now come down. Press the hips back toward the heels for a child's pose. And then bring that forward, chest open. A few more times, press it back and press it forward. Couple more. And last one. Good. Now, take the knees wide, your toes together. Come down onto your forearms. And we are going to keep our hips as low as possible. With your forearms, pull your torso forward, staying down nice and low, and then press back. So this is a little frog plank. We're trying to open up the hips. Pretty much the same as doing a sumo squat. Just keep rocking forward and back. Hopefully you get a little bit more range of motion out of it every time. Okay, now keep those knees wide, but instead of the big toes being together, you're going to bring those big toes apart, and then we're going to do the same thing. Press back and then forward. This is called saddle. And then this changes the opening, the stretching, to the front side of the hip. And if you're like me, a little tighter here. All right, good. Come up on those hands, walk those knees back together, step your right foot forward, and rocking hip flexor, come forward and back, or you can just keep those hands out to the side, fingertips down, shift forward and back. Good. Now switch sides. Same thing over here. Shoulders back, core engaged, rock forward and back. Couple more times. All right, and then bring it back. Good job. Now I'm going to go through the 5 exercises in the first 2 rounds, showing you the different levels. The first one is a lunge series. There will just be one level of this one. This will be your reverse lunge. So you got hands up in like a warrior position, and you're just going to step back, stay on that toe, lower that back knee down, and then bring it back up again. So if you're flexible, you may get that kneecap all the way down to the ground. That's fine, but you may not go very deep. You may have to keep yours very shallow. That's also fine. This is what it looks like then from the side. Okay, that's the first one. Second one is a table series. You'll have your feet on the floor, your hands behind you with the fingertips out or turned out to the sides. Roll those shoulders back, and you're just going to lift up into a table and then bring that back down again. Okay, lift up and down. Now for the level 2, which is definitely more challenging, you'd walk your feet out a little bit more. Keep those shoulders rolled back. You're going to lift the hips up, and then you're going to swing the hips back right between those arms. So it comes up and then swing through. Okay? Got to have a little lift to your hips to be able to get that one done. The next one is a kick through series. You are on your toes. You've got your hands about shoulders distance apart with the thumbs and the index fingers pointing towards each other. We're going to lift those knees off the ground, and you're going to swivel, tap that right hip down to the ground, bring it back into the all fours. Swivel, tap the left hip down, bring it back. That's level 1. Level 2, you're going to kick all the way through and tap down. Bring it back, kick all the way through and tap it down. Okay, that's the kick through. Next, sumo squat. Something you're probably a little more familiar with. You're going to take a hips to shoulders distance apart with your feet, a little more narrow than you'd probably do with a normal sumo, which normal sumo is shoulders distance or further apart. Toes turned out and hands up in front. I usually have my hands right in front, and I'll just drop down and then all the way back up. That's level 1. Down and up. Level 2, all you're going to do is down and then lift up onto those toes. Down into the sumo, lift up onto the toes. Okay? And then the last one is a frog push-up. You're going to be on your toes again, your knees wide, your hands underneath those shoulders, but with the thumbs and the index fingers pointing toward each other, a little more narrow than your normal push-up. I usually start down low, so I'll bend my elbows and bring my forehead down to the ground. And then with my hands, I push my upper body up. I lift my knees and bring them together in the center. And then I take them back out again and bring myself back down. Tap my nose or my forehead to the ground. And the key on that one is to try not to go too high up in the air. So remember, we're going to be working for 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. I'll do level 1 on the first round through. I'll go level 2 on the second round through. You just make sure you choose the one that is right for you, okay? Take a little drink, get my clock going. Starting with the reverse lunge. Alternating, go. Keep going. I'm going to turn the volume up so I can hear this.
Steve's got a display of
Alternating reverse lunges. Like I said, if you can bring your kneecap down, great, but you don't have to. You can make that as shallow or deep as you need to. 5 seconds. Nice. To the ground. Table series. Fingertips pointing out to the side. Pull those shoulders back. Spine nice and long. Feet flat. And go. Lift. And you can roll your head back if that works for you, or you can keep it up. Most important part though is to press those shoulders back every time. Open up the chest. You'll also feel some work in those triceps. Great. All right, kick through. Exercise number 3. You're on your toes, on the knees. Got those hands close together. Thumbs and index fingers pointing toward each other. Touch that nose down and press yourself up. Bring those knees together. Lower yourself back down with the knees wide. Doing a little bit of tricep push-up on the front and a little frog lift. Good, on the back. Stand up, sumo squat. Heels, hip to shoulders distance apart with the toes turned out slightly to the side, about at a 45-degree angle. Hands up in front in warrior. And bring it down and back up again. Can you hold that sumo squat at the bottom for a second and then engage those glute muscles to get you back up again? Good job. Stop and frog push-up. You're on your toes, toes close together, knees wide, hands narrow, thumb, index finger pointing together. I did frog a while ago, didn't I? We're doing kick through, which is the same stance. So don't do frog. Okay, lift those knees. And you're going to rotate, tap your hip down, and bring it back. And to the other side. Sorry about that. I was so excited for the frog push-up that I brought it on early. That's not true. Probably just wanted to get it over with. Good. That was round 1. This time, round 2. I'm going to go up to level 2 of the exercises where appropriate. Starting with that reverse lunge. Going to turn to the side this time so you'll get a different view. Arms up. Warrior lunge. Step way back, you're on those toes. As shallow or as deep as you need it to be. Good. Table series. I'm going to show the level 2. Your feet are out a little bit further, past the knees this time. Fingertips out to the side. Otherwise, you're just doing the regular table. We're going to lift and then try to swing those hips through. Lift and swing through. Having to support more of your own body weight on this one. Can definitely feel that in the triceps. Good. Now, the kick through. On those toes, fingertips pointing toward each other. Instead of just tapping my hip down, this time I will kick all the way through. Lift those knees and kick that right leg through, tap that hip, bring it back, other side. It's okay if you can't do this, you can just keep working on tapping that heel down. Bring it back to the all fours position with the knees just hovering off the ground. Good job. And rest. Okay, sumo. This time, level 2, I'll lift the sumo up to the toes, maintaining my balance. Hands in front, and then up on those toes. Good job. We're almost done with the second round. We just have those frog push-ups left. Good. All right. On the toes, knees wide, thumb and index finger pointing towards each other, hands a little bit more narrow than your regular push-up. Bend those elbows, bring the nose down, tap, lift up, bring those knees in, and then out and down again. Good job. Nice, and rest. All right, that was 2 rounds. Now, what I usually do when I'm doing this as a class is we will stop here with the strength training and we'll go jump on bike, treadmill, rowing machine, climber, you name it. And we will do 10 rounds, 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off, or 5 rounds. You can go 5 to 10, however much you want to do. And we'll get some high intensity interval training that way. So if you have a treadmill or a bike at home, you could hit pause right now, and then you could go do your cardio rounds, and then you could come back and hit the next 2 rounds of strength, okay? So for the next 2 rounds of strength, we're gonna be doing another set of 5 exercises. So let me go through those. The first are gonna be the rotary lunge. So we're taking that reverse lunge a little bit further this time. You're gonna step back on that toe, then you're gonna pivot that back foot flat and rotate open to the side. And then we will bring it back and up, and then you'll go to the other side. So let me show you that from a side angle. You will step back, rotate open, bring it back, and step it up, okay? So just work on that level of that one. The next, we've got the tripod series. So we're taking that table a bit further by going with only 3 legs, an arm and 2 legs, rather than the 4. If you cannot do the tripod, you're worried about your shoulders, just continue to work on your table. So I would have one hand at my chest, other hand out. I'm gonna lift up, and I can also lift up and reach that hand up, bring it back down, and switch. Lift and extend, bring it back down, okay? Next is a bear squat series, okay? So kind of like we were with that kick through, you're on your toes, your knees are right underneath your hips. You're gonna hover those knees off the ground, press your hips back toward your heels, okay? That's the bear squat. Then you're gonna lift your hips up, sink those heels into a down dog. Then bring it back down, bear squat to down dog. Bear squat, pressing those hips down is really what makes a difference there. Okay, then we're gonna have what's called a sprawl. We're gonna go the easy version of it. You're going to step, you bring your hands down, you're gonna step leg back, back into a plank or into more like an up dog. Bring it back, step up, up, and back up. Oh, I forgot, there's a sumo squat here. So we go sumo squat, hands down, step back, back, plank, or up dog, back up, here, here, sumo squat, and stand. Okay, there's a lot to that one. And then lever push-up series. On your knees. You're going to take a hand over to your side. Your thumb's going to pretty much be pointing toward your hip bone. You'll bend those elbows, but keep them tucked in close to the body. Lower down, and then press yourself back up again. Well, if you're not used to that one, okay. Other side, and press up again. So the stronger you get, of course, the lower you can go to the ground. If you have no problems with it on your knees, feel free, jump up on your toes and do it that way. Okay, you ready for the next 2 rounds? We're just staying level 1 on these. Got a countdown, get you a drink. Rotary lunge, step back, rotate open, back and up, other side. These are really good for external rotation of the hips. If you're tight in your hips, You will know it. All right, good. Tripod series. Fingertips pointing out to the side, 2 feet flat, other hand right at your chest. Roll those shoulders back and lift. Switch sides. Nice. All right, bear squat. You're on your toes. Wrists right underneath the shoulders. You'll hover those knees off the ground when the bell goes off. Okay, lift those knees. Press your hips back towards your heels. Straighten those legs. Sink the heels and bring it back to a hover. Press it back. Lift. Sink. Hover. Press back. Lift. Sink those heels and hover. Keep going. Press back. Lift. Sink and hover. Back. Lift. Sink and bring those knees down. Good job. All right. The sprawl. Gonna come to the front of my mat. You can come to the front of your mat. I've got those kind of set up in a sumo, toes out to the side. Gonna start with a sumo squat. Come down, hands to the ground, step back, back, stay with plank, or go a little bit into a cobra. Bring the feet back up, up, hit that sumo, and stand up. Sumo. Step it back. You'll recognize this as a little bit of a modified burpee, of course. I think this is an exercise that comes from wrestling in its higher levels. We're just at level 1. Good, and rest. All right, how about that lever push-up? On the knees. Gonna take my right hand over toward my hip with the thumb pressing in toward my hip. Keep those elbows in tight to the body. Lower down as far as you can, push back up, switch sides. This one's very challenging. So on that back hand, those fingertips kind of at a 45-degree angle, the palm being right at your hip level. So this is going, of course, deeper into the chest than also the triceps than we normally go with the push-up. Good job. Round 1, down. Round 2, to go. Going back to that rotary lunge. Hands up in front, like a warrior. You're ready to fight. Step it back, rotate out, back in and up. Try not to lose your balance. Not only are we working strength here, we're also working on mobility, flexibility, If you find this challenging and your heart rate's up, you'll be getting a little bit of high intensity cardio also. Nice. Tripod. Fingertips point out to the side. Feet flat. Other hand right at the chest. Roll those shoulders back. Ready? And lift. You can leave that one hand at your chest, or you can reach and lift it up to the sky. Always choose the level that's right for you. Good. Okay, bear squat on your toes. Knees under the hips. First thing we're going to do is hover those knees off the floor when the bell goes off. All right, hover. Press those hips back toward the heels. Lift the hips and then sink those heels. And then back to the hover. Press, lift, sink, and hover. Press back, lift, sink, and hover. Press back, lift, sink, and hover. Keep going. Press back, lift, and sink. Good job. Okay, the sprawl, gonna walk it forward onto my mat, taking my feet wide and toes out. So I'll go start with the sumo squat. Gonna squat down, bring my hands to the ground, step it back, plank or a dog, step it back up, hit that sumo, and come back up again. Hands, back, back, back bend, step it up, hit that sumo, and come up. And nice. Okay, let's finish up with that lever push-up. On your knees or on your toes, right hand to the hip, fingertips 45-degree angle. Keep those elbows in tight to the body. Ready? Lower and lift and switch. I'm not getting very low in this today. That's okay, we have to modify day by day. Are you keeping both those elbows in tight to the body as you lower down? Don't let them lean out to the side. Almost done. Nice, good job. All right, we're done with that. We are gonna finish up with some stretching. How do you feel? I feel like I'm sweating all over this mat. Okay, we're gonna start with a child's pose. Press those hips back toward the heels. Walk those hands out. And we're gonna just walk the hands to the right. Reach that right hand out further. And now your left arm, you're just gonna roll that left hand on to the pinky side of that hand. bring it back, and then walk the hands to the other side. Reach that right arm out, roll to the pinky edge, side of the hand, bring it back. Let's do that one more time each side. Walk to the right, reach that left hand out, side of the head, rest in that upper arm, roll to the pinky edge of the hand, bring it back, walk it back, roll onto the side of the hand, and bring it back to center, back to that child's pose, and good job, bring it up. Step your right foot forward, okay, hip flexor, little PNF stretching. So you're going to have your hands down to the side, contract those shoulder blades back, tuck your hips forward, and we're going to press forward, and you're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and then sink a little bit deeper. Contract, tuck those hips, and hold for 3, 2, 1, and then see if you can go even deeper. One more time. Hold, contract. 3, 2, 1. Go as deep as you can. Press those hips back. Extend that front leg. Hinge forward, hands on the thigh or the shin or the floor, and just come into a quick hamstring stretch. Okay, bring it back up, take that leg in and switch sides. Left leg forward, hands out to the side, palms down, tuck the pelvis, pull that front heel toward that back knee. That's the contraction of it. Ready, sink forward and contract. 3, 2, 1, release, sink a little bit deeper. Hold and contract. 3, 2, 1, release, sink even deeper. And one more time. 3, 2, 1, sink all the way in, press those hips back, extend that front leg, hinge forward, get that hamstring and hip stretch, bring that foot back down. Now step your right foot right next to your left foot, hold into a forward fold, bend your knees if you need to, fingertips on the floor, and we're just going to pedal it out. Bend one knee, sink the opposite heel, bend the other knee, sink the other one. I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Just walking it out, pedaling it out. All right, now bend the knees, round the spine, chin toward the chest, roll up like a rag doll, and then we're going to take the arms overhead, interlace those hands, lift them straight up. Let's reach to the right and press the hip to the left. Bring it back to center, other side, and back to center. How about one more time each side? Try to keep those arms straight and up, and the other side. Bring it back to center, arms down, roll those shoulders around. Oh, that was a good one. Hope you enjoyed it. All right, remember, stay hydrated, make healthy choices, keep moving. Do always just what you can. Don't push it too far. Always choose the right level for you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.